Hi guys, I'm Nija.
And I'm Ali Rosso.
And this is our podcast. So I'll start off with the first national issue. There was a bill put on President Obama's desk that would allow him to borrow unlimited amounts of money. And during the GOP Republican debate, Rand Paul had some words to say about it. He said, "Now on the floor of the Congress, the Washington establishment from both parties puts forward a bill that will explode the deficit. It allows President Obama to borrow unlimited amounts of money, and pretty much Rand Paul plans to use a filibuster to stop that bill."
On to the second national issue. Donald Trump's radical comments about sending 10 million people back to Mexico and building a wall gets his name repeatedly mentioned, not only in the media, but by his actual political opponents. For example, John Kasich was asked about his tax plan, but yet at the end of his response, he was discussing how Donald Trump is an unqualified president because he wants to send 10 million people back to their countries. By Donald Trump saying such radical things about immigration reform, he forces his opponents to share their views on immigration, which is an example of setting the political agenda.
On to our final national issue. This, I believe, upcoming weekend or the weekend that just happened, Donald Trump was on Saturday Night Live, and he was doing a lot of funny things, impersonation of Drake, I guess, and people were impersonating Donald Trump, and it never occurred to any of the other candidates, or it has yet to occur, that they can actually go to SNL or NBC and ask to be on the show as well due to the equal time rule.
According to Wikipedia, the equal time rule specifies that U.S. radio and television broadcast stations must provide an equivalent opportunity to any opposing political candidates who request it.
So I hope y'all got that, but pretty much equal time rule, candidate Donald Trump gets time on SNL, other people like Hillary Clinton or Rand Paul or Carly Fiorina can also get equal time.
For local issues, in Culver City High School, if one gets nominated for homecoming court, you must follow a set of rules. In those set of rules, it states that a homecoming candidate is not allowed to post any posters outside of the designated blue areas. Now, in the recent homecoming election, Nija's Super PAC posted sticky notes all around the school, technically violating that said rule on the poster locations. Nija received a consequence for her Super PAC's actions. In political terms, that consequence wouldn't have occurred because candidates and their Super PACs cannot be in contact. With that being said, you cannot politically blame someone for something they knew nothing about. Real presidential candidates today can use this loophole to receive unlimited amounts of money from their Super PAC without it being connected to them.
Okay, so for our editorial, we have an article entitled "Fact-Checking Ben Carson's Claims," produced by The Onion, November 9th, 2015. I'm just going to read it for you, and then okay. So, GOP presidential frontrunner Ben Carson is currently under fire for claims he's made about his past in books and interviews, many of which journalists have alleged are fabricated or screwed in the candidate's favor. The Onion breaks down what's truth and what's fiction. So, claim. He learned to accept his time that his... Okay, hold on. Okay, so claim. He learned to accept with time that it was not his fault that his father left his family at a young age. Truth. A young Carson was in fact entirely responsible for causing his family to fall apart. Claim. Broke the nose of a childhood friend with a rock during a temper tantrum. Truth. Broke the nose of a childhood friend with a rock during a moment of coldly calculated violence. Okay. Claim. God spoke to him, motivating him to turn around his troubled life. Truth. It was in fact a lesser archangel who was speaking to Carson. Okay. Claim. While at Yale, his professor set an elaborate hoax by telling his students that all their exams had been burned and they would need to take an even harder exam. Carson was the only student who didn't walk out of the class and was proclaimed the most honest student at Yale. Truth. No need to fact check the most honest student at Yale. Claim. held at gunpoint at a Popeyes restaurant by an armed robber. Truth. Suffered physical and emotional trauma from eating an entire seafood po' boy at Popeyes restaurant. Claim. Evolution is a lie encouraged by Satan. Truth. True. Claim. Hid several of his classmates in a biology lab in 1968 to shield them from violence. Truth. This is completely irrelevant to being president. Claim. Has drank a test tube of blood from every person he's performed surgery on. Truth. Didn't begin doing this until his third patient. Claim. Last claim. Experienced a troubled youth. Okay. No. Claim. Experienced a troubled youth rife with violent acts before finding his faith as a Christian, which guided him to a career as a neurosurgeon and eventually a run for president of the United States, despite unwarranted attacks from the mainstream media on his credibility. Truth. Ben Carson lies a lot. So, although that was a very crazy article, that is an example of the media playing the watchdog, I guess, for the people in uncovering Ben Carson's lies or truths. I'm not really sure. We just think you should read it because it's pretty. It made us laugh, and it would probably make you laugh, and it might change your opinion on him, or it could validate your opinion on him. We don't know. But this is the end of our podcast. Hope you liked it, and
Have a nice day.
bye.